Reggie Miller is the gift that just keeps on giving. The Hall of Famer, NBA on TNT, and Reg joins us now. Hi, Reg.
This is the difference between you and I, Theodore.
Okay.
If Fritzy was, to ever leave you and come work for me, I don't give sick days. That's not going to happen here in Miller Manor. Now, he might do that on your watch, on your shift, the old I've got a little stomach bug, I'm coughing up. I said, no, that's not going to happen out here in Malibu and Miller Manor. So, Fritzy, your job application that I got last week when we talked about that, there are no sick days out here. It's all about the fanning and you serving me grapes. So if you call up talking about being sick, it's not going to fly, buddy. I love you, Fritzy, but you got to toughen it up, son.
Did you ever sick out for a game?
No, but we had a certain calling when a certain number 23 would come to town. And we would see other guys on other teams that were starters suddenly hurt for that one game, and we called it the Jordan flu.
Wait, people tapped out the Jordan flu?
Absolutely, people tapped out when MJ would come to town.
Wait.
People got the Jordan flu.
Guys who were going to have to guard him? Why?
Yes, people got the Jordan flu.
Teammates?
Well, that was my position, so I couldn't have the Jordan flu.
Well, you weren't guarding Jordan, were you?
What are you talking about? Yes, I was. I was stopped guarding Michael Jordan in the playoffs.
Reg,
what are you talking about?
Technically, you were assigned to him, but you weren't guarding him, were you?
Technically, it's a team game, so we guarded Michael Jordan.
Who sicked out? Who sicked out when Jordan came to town?
Go back and look at. Go back.
Give me a team.
Paulie, McLovin.
Give me a team.
There's some guys that would have the Jordan flu. It was an unwritten rule. Oh, my God. This guy would be on fire during the week, but here comes Scotty and Michael and Dennis and Horace, and the guy wouldn't play. I'm like, really?
Give me the team.
I'm not going to give you the teams, but
teams.
You could do your own homework.
Okay. Paulie, get on that right now.
All over it.
All right. Sixers lost again last night, and Charles Barkley says he approves of what the Sixers are doing.
I love my boy, and he has his jersey hanging from the rafters there in Philly, but how could he jump on board on what's going on there? You've got 6 rookies, 4 second-year players. I understand you're trying to build through the draft, but how are you sure that these young players are ever going to pan out 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now? The product that they're putting on the floor, granted, Brett Brown has them playing hard, and in my opinion, because I've watched a few Sixer games, KJ McDaniels, that's the guy they need to be highlighting. I know they've got Michael Carter-Williams and Nerlens Noel, and that's great. But to me, the star on that team is KJ McDaniels because he does a little bit of everything. And the product they're putting out there on the floor, how do you sell that to season ticket holders? It's hard for me to fathom that this is going to be productive in a year from now, 2 years from now. It takes a lot of patience. And I'm not a patient guy.
Yeah.
I need to win now. I need to compete now.
It's Reggie Miller, NBA on TNT. What do you have, Pelicans, Warriors coming up?
I do, and this is the chance I get a chance to see Anthony Davis up close and personal. I think during the first 15 to 20 games this year, he's been one of my top 5 MVPs. This is the guy that can do it all. Now, the problem is his supporting cast, especially with Eric Gordon out indefinitely. I'm not quite sure they're going to be able to compete in a very tough Western Conference, but I want to see Anthony Davis because this kid is the next it factor in this league.
What I like about him when he was on a couple of weeks ago, Reg, is he says that he will look at games footage of Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett just to see how they played the game. I think Akeem Olajuwon as well. And I love that. I love the fact that you're looking at guys who have – I'm looking at the little things that these guys do that makes them great. And
Well, you're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer and Hakeem Olajuwon, and soon to be two first ballot Hall of Famers in Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. And if you're a young player and a young power forward / center, what Anthony Davis is, to say I want to pattern and watch film and emulate guys like Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan, I mean, arguably during this past generation, the best power forwards in the game. It shows you where this kid's head is.
Kevin Garnett ever yell at you?
Yes, all the time.
But was he really yelling at?
But here's the thing: he was yelling at me when he was in Minnesota. So it was like Jay-Z, dirt off the shoulder, because I laughed because he was in Minnesota and his teams didn't compete then.
Wait, did Jay-Z yell at you?
No, I'm referring to like when he would yell at me, I would laugh at KG because you're yelling and you don't have the horses to compete with us. So it was like dirt off the shoulder.
Oh, okay. I thought Jay-Z may have yelled at you.
No,
when he was with the Nets.
Jay-Z quietly supported the Pacers, especially during the Knicks and the Nets. We had the Nets series. Jay-Z was in the front row, and he was secretly clapping for the Pacers.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know that, but he was. That's right, Jay. I called you out.
Could he play?
I have no idea. I've never seen him play.
Because I'm wondering if any of these guys, because they love basketball. I'm just curious if any of these rappers can play.
You know, I have a question for you. You know how ESPN during All-Star Weekend always has that celebrity game? I believe it's on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you ever play in that?
Never invited.
Oh, come on.
I was never
Theodore.
invited. I was never invited.
So what you're saying, the All-Star Game this year in New York City, if invited that Friday, you would participate in that game? Because I think you would cross some guys over. Am I correct on that?
I'm going to stick a jumper, that's for sure.
So if asked, you're going to play in that game?
Yeah.
I just want to get you on the record here because I want to see your skills versus all these other celebrities.
Well, who are the celebrities?
Well,
I mean,
you've seen
who's
the game.
on me? Is
Bieber, like T.O. and a lot of rappers, Common, the defense secretary, Arnie Duncan, who's,
all right. He can play.
Right, he can play. I'm saying, could you compete in this game?
Well, I'd be the oldest guy there, but, you might have.
Are you older than Arnie Duncan?
I don't know. Probably so. I mean, that shouldn't be an excuse. I'm just giving you like a fact, a statement. So when I do break some ankles.
So now you're starting to moonwalk saying you couldn't compete against some of these younger guys. Okay.
You know what? This is what they need to do.
I want to see your skill.
Reg, they need to bring the three-point line back a little deeper. That's all I'm asking. All right? Let's go a little deeper.
I like that.
Okay.
I like
Jordan flu games names. Rex Chapman.
Oh. Yes.
Nick Anderson.
Oh, absolutely.
Gerald Wilkins.
I'll give Gerald Wilkins a little bit of credit because he was the one who said he was the Jordan stopper.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And we all saw what happened on that. So I'll give him a little credit for calling out MJ.
Dennis Hobson.
Well, I mean, that was my draft, my guy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's kind of obvious.
Is that a yes or no?
Yes, that's a yes.
All right. That's pretty good, 3 for 4 here.
That's very good. Boy, you guys are good. Oh, my God.
Poor Rex Chapman. Poor Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, poor Rex.
I mean, these guys would be unbelievable in a 2-week span, and then when that black cat is getting ready to come to town, all of a sudden they would have the Jordan flu game.
Did anybody ever sick out when you were coming to town?
I absolutely, positively would say no.
John Starks did not sick out.
No.
He didn't.
No. In fact, he probably took his herbal medicine to be able to play against.
Did Starks have the Jordan flu?
No, never. He looked forward to that.
He did.
Warrior, yeah. As much as I don't like John Starks, I give him a lot of credit. This kid would run through a wall. I like guys like that. It's a kind of a lost art in today's game.
Did Anthony Mason bother you?
Didn't bother me. I worried about my safety going to the hole a few times, but it didn't bother me.
He was a big dude.
He was.
Yeah.
And then you had Oakley on the other side, too. I mean, think about that. And then you had to get by Patrick.
But Mason was crazy, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, Charles was crazy, too. Yeah.
A whole different game back
Starks
then.
was a little bit crazy, yeah.
Did you shake hands before jump balls? And like when you see Isaiah and Magic kissing,
No.
that bother you?
I mean, you would kind of do a fist bump. It didn't bother me. I mean, those guys they go back to, their Michigan days.
But could you have ever done that to anybody?
No.
No one.
No. Absolutely not.
You wouldn't even do that to your sister.
No.
Man.
Well, I should do it to her because she used to kick my behind all the time.
No,
So
I
maybe
know. But that was a long time ago, right?
No. It bothers me a little bit. I understand it's a different generation. It's the AAU generation. These guys grew up playing with and against one another, and it's all about kinder, gentler. But, no, it was all about competing, and we'd maybe give a fist bump or a head nod, and then it was on. I couldn't, shake hands and, let's get together. I couldn't do that. I was taught differently.
Did you ever socialize with anybody from the opposition? What if Jordan said, "Hey, let's go to dinner"?
No,
You
because I knew there was I knew there was a motive behind it. he was trying to draw me in.
What about when Kobe said, "Share your secrets with me"?
See, I thought we were on the same team, and I knew Kobe got me. He bamboozled me. I'll give Kobe that. He got me. I let my guard down. Arn tell him, talk to this kid, mentor him. He got me. You got me, Kobe.
Wait, so was Arn your agent and Kobe's agent? And so he said, "Hey, could you help out this kid?"
Yeah, we did an MTV shoot. We did an MTV shoot together. This is funny. We did an MTV shoot together. It was one of those shows like when they all lived in the house, the Real House or whatever.
Real World.
Okay, the Real World. It was their cast was going to play us. One of their challenges was going to play Kobe and I one-on-one. So we were a team versus the Real World crew. Okay. And so we were there for like 3 or 4 hours. And that was really the first time I got a chance to hang out with Kobe. And, he wanted to play me one-on-one and, talk to me about your step back. I love your step back. And I kind of wanted to know some things because he had a sick crossover. This is young Kobe.
Yeah.
He drew me in. The next time we play, Theodore, this dude is doing my step back, holding me. And to your point, when you were talking about Vlade Divac and being the greatest
flopper,
and the flopper and Jim Carrey to talk to, I do that. I do talk to young players about not necessarily the art of flopping, but knowing where referee placement is on the floor. So I do teach that when guys come up to me and say, "What are you looking at?" It's not necessarily flopping. It's sometimes fooling the referee because they're looking at a certain area on the floor. Mm-hmm. So if I could place my hands a certain way, so then when the offense reacts and then I sell my play, but it's not necessarily all about flopping. But, yeah, you do teach that. You got to sell the play sometimes. And it's all about knowing where the referees are, where they're looking, where they're focused in at, and I wouldn't say fooling them, but sometimes pulling the wool over their eyes.
Reg is calling Pelicans at the Warriors this Thursday night at 10:30 Eastern on TNT. Reg, safe travels. Good to talk to you again, bud.
I'm glad. Did you eat a lot of turkey?
No.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I worked, but I didn't eat that much because I got to get in shape for this All-Star game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Laird Hamilton is going to get me in shape.
Hey, have you ever done any of them workouts?
No, I've seen it.
Unbelievable. That's why Joakim Noah was Defensive Player of the Year.
Because of Laird Hamilton?
Yes, he worked out all summer with him.
Yeah, I'm not man enough to do that.
Intense.
All right.
Trust me, he had me crying. He had me crying. This was serious workout. Now, this dude, he's not all the way there. Laird Hamilton is not all the way there, people. He's not all the way there. I love you, Laird, but you're not all the way there.
Safe travels. We'll talk to you next week.
You guys are truly the best. Seton, Paulie, McLovin, And I won't even mention that softy, Fritzy,
Wow.
my Danette.
Wow.
You're truly the best.
Thank you, buddy. We'll come back. This is the Dan Patrick Show.